Hey guys, in this video we're going to create a door that you can open and close, and again we'll make it customizable so we can change the mesh, but the functionality will stay the same. So for the assets, I have checked the Click.o bridge and there is nothing good because most of the doors are built in the wall, so you would have to actually separate the mesh manually. And instead I'm going to do the easier way and go to Sketchfab, and here we can just download this medieval door that I found. And I really like it because they also have a frame, and we will need a frame for the door. So download it in FBX and then import it to your Unreal. I have already done so, so I've created a new folder in the meshes and imported it here. It is a skeletal mesh, so don't change anything there, just import that and the textures, and this is what it will look like. And after you have it imported, let's open this skeletal mesh cube. So this is the frame. Let's make a static mesh. Go to your meshes and doors, and this one will be door frame underscore sm. Save it, and then for this actual door skeletal mesh, make static mesh, same folder, and this will be door underscore sm. Now we don't actually need any of these assets anymore, so you can delete these skeletal meshes and the physics assets and just keep the textures and the static meshes we have created. So delete. And now as you can see, it didn't import with the material by default. So what we can do is create one, go to materials and create new one. Oop. This will be door underscore m. And we only have one set of textures, so they are using the same ones. So we can go here, drag all these. This will be base color, ambient occlusion. This one is metallic, normal. And let's see, this one roughness, but you can see it makes it look wet again, so I'm going to remove the roughness and just apply and save. And now we can open the door, add the material, and we have door. While we're here, we can do collision as well, so auto convex collision, apply and save. Go to door frame, do the same, door material, and we have a frame, then collision, auto convex collision, apply and save. And now we do have these two assets. We can drag them in the world. You can see they are massive, so we can resize them. But instead of doing it in build scale this time, I'm going to show you how to do it in modeling, so we can permanently change it as well. So for that, let's drag it out, both of them. And first let's resize them here so we can see what size we need to do. So if you select the actual resize, scale the whole thing. If I actually just do three ticks down, it will scale down properly. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that is a good size. So that's 0.25. Now we can go to modeling tools. So here on the selection, select modeling. If you don't see it here, that means you probably don't have a plugin enabled. So go to edit, plugins, and search for modeling. And you need to have this modeling tools editor mode. So enable that, and then go to modeling. And here we can go to Xform and then bake transform. You don't even need to change it here because we already scaled it. So bake transform, and then don't bake rotation, and do accept. And now you can see this changed to scale 1. So this is a default size now. Go to this one, do the same thing, bake transform, and accept. Right. We can go back to selection, save all, just in case. And now we can create a blueprint for doors. So go to blueprints, we can do it in items, Again, we don't want to make a children of any of these because we want different functionality, so door will be separate. So right click, go to blueprints, blueprint class, create actor. This is door underscore BP. Here we first going to do class settings and implement the interact BPI. Then go to class defaults, we need to do tag, which will be interactables. So we can actually interact with it, compile and save. Now we can add static mesh. This one here, and this will be, what should be first? Door frame. And then we're going to duplicate this static mesh, and this will be door. Let's make door the child of the door frame. And now we can select the static mesh, which will be door, and this one will be door frame. There we go. So we have a door, and now we want to open the door. One problem we will have is if you select the door and you want to rotate it, and you would rotate it, you can see that it rotates from the middle, and that is because it has a pivot point in the middle. So to change the pivot point in here, since we already have a modeling tool, let's move this somewhere here. Let's go to selection, go to modeling, and to change the pivot point here in the Unreal Engine, we can just go to Xform again, edit pivot, and now this gizmo I don't really like, but you can just move it on the corner where the door starts, not where the handle is, because this is where you want it to open or rotate, and then just move it directly on the corner. Then when you accept, you can see where it is. I'm not happy with this, so I'm going to edit it again, place it here, and then maybe do a little bit like that. Accept, so it's directly in the corner. And now we successfully changed the pivot point. So if you go back to door, now we have to move it slightly. We could position the door frame as well, but it's not necessary because we just changed the door. And now if you rotate, it actually opens up. All right, compile and save. And now to make a function that it will open up, we just delete this part in event graph. On event begin play, we're just going to set up the interact widget. So let's also copy it from somewhere else, maybe from interactable items. Copy this, go to door, paste it here. I'll make a child of the door, so it's when it opens, it moves with it. And I can't do shortcuts for some reason. Where are you? I'm going to move you up and somewhere here where the handle is. Compile and save. Now back in event graph, let's cast to interactable, no, interact prompt widget. Here get widget, interact prompt, and we can also promote it to variable because we will need it. So interact prompt reference, and we can set interact type. So we do have open already, so we can use open. And let's create one more interact type, which will be close door. So in our enums now, interact type, and in here we'll do close. Save it. Now back in, let's open the widget interact prompt and set it up. So copy this one more time. Connect it to close. and this will say close. Compile and save. And now in the door we can just set up interact function. So go to interact. Here we will do flip-flop. So we can open it and close it. And we will need to set up one variable. So we can do it from here. Promote to variable is door open. And on A, this will just set it for us. So because it knows where we are in the flip-flop, so it will set it to true or false. And here we need to do timeline. So I'm not sure if we've done the timeline before, but what we need to do is add timeline. And this will be door opening TL, which is timeline. And what timeline does is it lets us move from one value to the other value, and we can also set up the curve, that the way that we actually want to move to that value. So open the timeline. Here we're going to track, add float track, and let's make it length 1, so 1 second. Right click, add key, this key selected, and do 0 and 0. Then add key anywhere, this will be 1 and 1. So in 1 second we will move to value of 1. Here you can just resize it by zoom to fit vertical or horizontal as you want. And you could also change this linear float track. So we could just right click and here do user, and also right click here, do user, and then we can change this float track as we want. So door maybe should start slower and then open faster. At least I think that's how it should work, so I'll just leave it maybe like that. But as you want, you can leave it at linear. So save this, compile and save. Let's go back to graph. Now we do have a timeline. We can connect it here to play, and here we will connect it to reverse, so it will go backwards when we close the door. And from this new track, which we also can name something, this will be update rotation. And now we do have this update rotation. We'll do lerp. So lerp moves from one value to the other based on the alpha. So we will do update rotation to alpha. And we need to get the door and set rotation. Which one is it? It's set relative rotation. And we'll do from update. Right click on this, split it, and we need to rotate it on Z value. And we will go from 0 to, what is it, 190? No, 90 degrees. So 0 to 90 degrees. Now let's also make sure that our collisions are good, so we can actually interact with it. This is fine, but I'm going to do custom collision on the door frame and turn off the camera so it doesn't block the player camera when it's close, and also here on the door turn off the camera. Compile and save. Now we just need to set up the interact prompt. So on in range we need to get the interact prompt and set visibility to visible, and out of range we need to hide it. Now the thing is, we also want to change it to close when the door is open. So we need to set up the branch check here, and we will check if this door is open. if it's open, we need to set this interact prompt to say that it's close. So get the interact prompt reference, set interact type, and here we will do close, and here we'll do open. The problem is this will change the interact type, but we already displaying open, so it won't change it, won't update it. We need a custom event for that. So let's go to interact prompt one more time, and in here you can see we're doing it only on the construct. So once we update it, we're not updating it in any way. So we're going to disconnect this, add custom event, and this will be set interact type, and we're going to call it on construct, so it doesn't change for rest of the blueprints we're using it in. But now we can also call this custom event manually. So go back to door, and after this we need to, from interact prompt, set interact type, and we can connect it to both of these, and then set visibility to true. And now that's in range, but we also need to change it once we interact with the door, because once we open the door we want to change it to close, and it won't close because we are already in the range. It won't say close. So here we need to do this part. So here it will be close, and here it will go to open, and then this time we probably need to set it after each one because they both go to different things. So interact prompt and interact prompt. This one goes to reverse, this one goes to play. Compile and save. Let's remove these static meshes and actually drag the door out. So third person blueprints, items, door. We have door. I play the game. Go next to the door. I got open. I open the door. It says close, and it opens the door nicely. I can pass. Doesn't block my camera or anything. It will close. When I'm really close, it actually pushes me a little bit because we do have a collision, which is as I want it, because otherwise you will be able to pass through the door. And yeah, that's it. And now if you wanted to change it, obviously we do have a frame and we do have a door, so you can just select this frame and change the static mesh to whatever you like, and door, and it will have the same functionality. Only thing we need to make sure is that the pivot point of the door is on the side, so it rotates correctly. So if you were to change it even to like something like this cube, and this frame to, you know, cylinder. Okay, this is really silly, but the functionality is there. So you open it and it rotates the cube. Alright, and that is it for the door. So in next video maybe I'll make keys or something that we can actually fit it to the correct door and open it with it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.